Oh, what a killer ride. Fantastic, good choice, incredible choice. But it's never that easy. Every time when we get a car, there's some things you have to sort out, you have some doubts. And actually my doubts started in 2006 when I went to the Paris auto show. And the reason was, it was two things that right away kind of like startled me. Actually three. The first one was, the car looks incredible. But then what startled me is that it was right next to the Audi R8 race car that had just won Le Mans. And then they were calling this car Audi R8, and we're like, okay, so what's the name? So yes, they decided to capitalize on the winning Le Mans car and use that name to put on the car. The second shocker, maybe the biggest shocker, is that as you know, there's a lot of people that maybe shy away from Italian cars because it can be a little temperamental. So they go, you know, I want to get a German car, so dependable. And there you go. You get your German car to find that this car in the two generations is actually an Italian car. It's a Lamborghini. The monocoque chassis from the first generation, which is from 2006 till 2015, is the Gallardo, Lamborghini Gallardo. And the engine is the Lamborghini Gallardo. In this particular case, what I bought is the V8. Why? I have a lot of cars with a lot of horsepower. I wanted something a little more relaxed. So this is 2015, the last model of the first generation. The second generation looks almost identically. Actually, the changes body-wise, I'm not that high on because these are classic lines. On the new one, they kept the same shape. They just changed the front a little more angular. And on that particular car, the car from 2015 till now, what they have done, they use the chassis from the Huracan, the Lamborghini Huracan. And the engine is the same engine from the Lamborghini Huracan. So what is that you're getting? Is it an Italian car? Is it a German car? So while being at the car show in Paris, I couldn't help but ask, why does a German car has basically a platform from an Italian car? And the answer is very simple. Audi is the mother company of VW and they own Lamborghini. End of story. As a matter of fact, it's the second time I've done the same thing. I drove a Viper GTS for 10 years, a car that I loved, to find out that the engine was a Lamborghini as well. So in essence, what do I have here to cruise on Pacific Coast Highway? I have a V8, 420 horsepower, double overhead cam, 0 to 60, a little over 4 seconds because it's the automatic version, which is faster than the stick shift. And the big shocker, the guy that didn't want a lot of power and go too fast, is that the car goes 186 miles an hour, 186. I keep falling back to the same vices. The ride is fantastic, effortless. It's like you're on a cloud. And I have read about the magnetic suspension, the dampers. This is what this car has. The power band on the car, it's very gradual. And of course, it's because it's a V8 with no turbo, normally aspirated. After finding out about the car from the German engineers, what made the buy? You guys are gonna laugh. Jackie Eakes, childhood idol of mine, won Le Mans 6 times, Formula 1 driver for Ferrari, incredible driver. I've been to Rennsport and I've heard from the greatest drivers ever from that era, and they would say Jackie Eakes is the man. So why do I bring this Belgian driver? Because Jackie Eakes said this is the best handling road car, period. Okay, so if my idol says that, we're gonna go with it. And as I tested, I mean, this car is what it claims to be and then some. So once you drive it, you realize that what Jackie Eakes said is that and then some. So of course, part of the magic of the car is that it's a mid-engine. It's the first car to have LED lights throughout. This was the first one. And then it's a quattro, all-wheel drive quattro. What does quattro mean? Quattro, 1, 2, 3, quattro. It makes the ride a dream. So the car, as beautiful as it is, it's a little on the heavy side, of course. When you have a convertible, you have to make the entire car stronger so there won't be any torsion. So this is about 3,800 pounds. And you notice how heavy the car is when you drive in the city, not because you're gonna feel it, just because you're gonna see it on your pocket. It's about 14 miles a gallon in the city. Now, once it's going, it's actually economical. I think, to have a supercar like this and do 23 miles an hour on the highway, I think it's pretty amazing. Actually, I will compare it to my Toyota Tundra pickup truck, 400 horsepower. This is more economical once you're on the road. The other thing is that the range of the engine, you could get up to 7,900, 8,000 RPMs, and usually in any car that you get to the limit, you can feel the strain. What's amazing about this car is that you're at 7,500 RPMs, and it feels smooth. It's so easy, so simple. Performance comes real easy, and it translates into your driving. It does not make you nervous. It does not make you go. If you have to go, you can go. So because I'm getting in my blood the feel that I want to go drive, it just reminds me of the history of Audi, history of racing from Audi. Back in the 20s, 30s, actually 30s, Audi was quite successful, and Auto Union was known 30s and 40s as one of the fastest cars, and they would win the equal championship of what Formula One was. There were silver cars, incredibly fast and huge. Then they canned the project, no more Auto Union, so people from our generation, baby boomers and even post-baby boomers, they did not get to see Audi's success as a sports car or a race car until the early 80s, when Audi brought the Quattro rally cars that we so lovingly embraced. But guess what? Since 2000, Audi had been back racing at Le Mans, the marquee race for sports cars, and for the last 20 years, they won outright 13 of those races. Unbelievable. And that's when they decided, okay, we have the race car R8, let's bring a sports car and call it just like our so successful car, and call it also R8. Now, again, keep in mind that there's two generations. The generation called the 42 type would be this generation till 2015, and then the S4 generation. And on this particular model, I have the 6-speed Triptronic, which is basically automatic, that I can also use using the pedal shift. The factory Audi likes to call this car by one name, and worldwide it has caught up as having only one name instead of the Audi R8 convertible. What is this? This is the Spider, Audi Spider. In my car, I have a 6-speed Triptronic with pedal shift, automatic transmission. Aluminum and carbon body, and the transmission, if you want to know exactly how it behaves compared to other models, it's actually quite fast. So if you really want to go to a very, very spirited drive, if you go to a racetrack, you'll find it quite suitable. Fantastic, fast enough. Years before, most of those cars, the Triptronic was very lagging, which is, you thought that maybe the clutch was slipping. Which, by the way, it has a single clutch, not a double clutch transmission. Nevertheless, take it for a ride, go to the beach. You can drive daily on this car. Use it daily. And then continue to the track. It's like the good old 911 that you could go take to the racetrack, dust it off, then go shopping. Take your family. Well, if you have just a wife. And enjoy it. So anyway, I gotta go for a spin. Let's go. So how do you like me now? Do I look the part? Viva Las Vegas! So anyway, we had a blast here in Las Vegas as usually, with the addition that we got the new baby. But I'm so happy I got my new toy. So did we answer the question if the car is German or Italian? Well, it's an Italian-German car, okay? So anyway, subscribe if you like what you saw, give us a like and a comment. And above all, love the car you're with. Till next time. Vegas, baby!